Hello guys. Today, we will watch the remaining episode 4 of the Death's Game series in one part. At the beginning of the 5th episode, we are shown that one person has been kidnapped by a group. These people are trying to kill this person and post a video on the dark web. But a young man with long hair comes here. This young man attacks this group and saves this person. Then while the young man is carrying that person to the car, the survivor asks the young man with long hair, "How did you know that I was there?" The young man says, "I am an artist. I came there to find some materials that I needed." This person asks why I was saved. This kid says, "I don't want my artwork damaged. Say no to this person in this market." After that, this boy forcibly goes to his place and starts cutting this person. At the same time, the blood of this person is thrown on the surrounding boards. The reason for doing this is that this boy is a psychopathic murderer, not just a pervert. A terrible pervert who kills people and paints with their blood. We don't understand why this kind of killer was shown at the beginning of the 5th episode. Let's see what happens next. Now let's get to the main story. You may remember that at the end of the episode, Choi was shot to death with the pistol of death. Now Choi is trying to shoot that pistol and move on to his next opportunity. But that doesn't work because the pistol doesn't work. Death comes here anyway. Choi asks how he survived the shooting. Death says that the fire will never burn, the water will never get wet, and I will never die. "I thought you had an accident, didn't you?" Death says that I am not a god. After that, Death shows his true form to Choi. At this point, Choi is very scared. Then Death takes Sue's appearance. Show Choi that can take on the form of anyone to do this. But Choi can't bear this. Death says, "Anyway, Sue's death could have happened at that time. The only thing that changed was knowing your story." However, Choi says that he wants to go soon for the next opportunity. After that, "I will kill that person called Park." The reason why Choi said this is because the person called Park killed Sue. Because of that, Choi is very angry. But death is the 2 rules of the game for Choi. One is that Choi cannot kill himself, and the second rule is that Choi cannot kill anyone, and know that if that happens, I will intervene. Choi tells people fight even when they know they will lose. I am like that too. Those things don't matter, shoot me now, I want to go for my second chance. After that, the same mundane who shot Death Choi in the head. With this, Choi's 8th opportunity begins. This time, Choi is inside the body of the serial killer shown at the beginning of this episode. But Choi still can't figure out whose body it is inside. However, Choi sees that the person who owns the body has blood on his hands. Then Choi comes out a bit. At this time, the plaque containing this person's memories and abilities comes out of a blood vessel and hits Choi on the head. This person's name is Tanner Jong-ju Cheol, 34 years old. This person has been fond of drawing since childhood. After Jong grew up, one day he saw a 50-year-old girl who had fallen from a tall building. At this time, Jong has an idea to take the blood of the dying girl and draw a picture of the girl herself. In that way, Jong not only drew a picture but also sold it for a high price. After that, people and women were kidnapped and killed and painted with their blood. Now you must understand that Jong is a serial killer. He kills people and draws his Jong with their blood. Choi's head starts to load because of these things. Choi can't even bear these things. Choi is also vomiting. After a while, he remembers Park, because in his previous self, he killed himself and Sue. Choi, who is in Jong's body, decides to kill Park somehow and avenge the death of Sue. After that, Choi, who is in Jong's body, goes to the place where the accident happened. Choi finds the pen that Choi gave Sue on a pole. After that, Choi comes as a reporter to that company called Taken. Because Park is an employee of this company, this is the easiest way to find Park. At this time, Park comes here, but Choi can't find Park. What if someone like Park is found? You have to make an appointment in advance. At this time, Choi sees that Park behaves like a very good person in front of these people. The people who work in this company, even Park's father, think that Park is a good person. Since he couldn't meet Park, Choi goes outside, but at this time, Choi's nose starts bleeding from Jong's side. Choi falls unconscious right here. Then Choi goes to the doctor. The doctor says that you have brain cancer. You have only 1 month left. At this time, Choi realizes that if Jong dies, then it must be because of this cancer. Choi realizes that he only has 1 month left. Choi says that if he wants to get revenge on Park, he needs to do it quickly. But Choi finds out that Park has come to an art exhibition. Choi goes to meet Park as Jong. At this time, Park talks to Jong thinking that he is a famous artist. At this time, Choi feels like stabbing Park with the knife he is hiding, but Choi remembers the rule that Choi can't kill anyone, and if that happens, death will intervene. Choi thinks that even if he wants to kill Park, this is not the time. Then Choi in Jong's body says, you come to my place and then I will draw a beautiful picture of you. Park doesn't know what it means. Park accepts this as a friendly invitation and is going to leave here. Then Park remembers an incident from the past. That's Park's younger brother, Jin Tae, who has already known that Park is a psychopath. Park has a lament that he hears from inside his mind since he was a child. He could not bear that lament. When he was a child, Park killed the child of a servant who used to do housework. Jin Tae has seen it. Since then, Jin Tae has been paying attention to Park. Not only that, Jin Tae also told his father about it. Have said because of that, Park has a lot of anger with Jin Tae. Because of all this, in the end, Park killed his brother in a plane crash. Dad is worried about Park because Jin Tae told Dad. Park remembers all these things. This time, Park starts to hear the moaning in his mind. After that, Park takes an intoxicating tablet. After that, his car starts driving fast. Two people in the police station realize that someone is driving a car at high speed. The two policemen start going behind Park. Park gets trapped in one place. One of these two police officers is going to drive the car fast to issue a ticket to the park. But at this time also a Park call is taken to the police commissioner. Because the Park is related to these people, Park tells the police commissioner about all these things. The police commissioner tells this police officer Ji-hun to apologize to Park sir right now and then leave here. Ji-hun has nothing to do but agree to this and turn away. But the Park does not let these people go easily. This police officer named Ji-hun is beaten badly, but Park understands that the other police officer here will not intervene. Park goes to that police officer and says, I like you. It means that he likes to sit aside and be like a dog. On his way home, Park sees that the artist he met earlier has come to find him. At this point, Choi unleashes his anger. At this point, Park gets angry. Park tries to attack Choi. Choi uses Jong's abilities and attacks Park. But Park tries to shoot Choi with a gun in his car. Using this time, Choi takes Park's car and takes him to Jong's house. Choi is trying to take revenge by killing Park. But this time too, like before, he loses consciousness and falls to the trouble of cancer. Park uses this time to tie up Jeonji. Now Park try to kill Jong. At this time, Park is telling a story. One is how he got used to killing people. Park is saying at this time that one day when I was driving the road after taking drugs, a man was hit and killed. From that day on, I had a desire to hit and kill people. That way, the person who died in an accident at the hands of Park is none other than the man who died near Choi in the first episode while going to Choi's interview. Park tells Jong about this and kills him. As usual, Choi wakes up at the gate of hell. At this time, Death says that this death was very painful, wasn't it? But Choi starts laughing. Death is also surprised. But Choi has a reason to laugh. What is Choi's plan? It means that Choi raised the camera in Jong's place and Park thought he was caught. Because get a video of Jong's death by Park. You can understand why. When a video like this comes into the hands of the police, Park's story ends right there. Choi tries to do that, but Death says that things don't happen the way you think. So Death shoots Choi in the head and Meth begins Choi's 9th chance. At this time, Choi goes to the body of that stupid police officer. This police officer is with her junior officer. When someone is chasing you, you are there. At this time, the shield with the memories and abilities of the person who owns Choi's body comes and hits Choi on the head. This person's name is Ji Hyung. He is 42 years old. Ji Hyung's father is also a police officer. But he died in an accident during a raid. Hyung grew up and chose the job of the police. But Ji Hyung's mother did not like this because his father died because of the police job. When his mother died, Hyung promised that even if he works in the police, he will not participate in any risky work. Now you can understand why Hyung turns aside like a coward. All this starts to load in Choi's head. At this time, Hyung sees someone assaulting his junior police officer. It is none other than that Ju-hun. At this time, Choi, who is in Hyung's body, attacks and captures Ju-hun. Hyung's junior police officer also sees this incident. He was also surprised. Because Hyung never behaved like this before, he was like a coward. After that, Choi Mei Hyung's junior officer also goes to Jong Min's place of death. The reason is that the video where Park killed Jong is there. In the meantime, we are shown Park. Park is trying to kill Jong by taking him to Jong's place under the guise of taking his secretary to dinner. Because Park is now obsessed with killing Jong the way he killed him. After that, Choi shows that Hyung's junior officer is also put in Jong's place. At this time, Choi Park copied the video of how Jong was killed to a pen drive and then deleted it from Jong's lap. After that, the police come to check this place. After that, the whole country knows that the serial killer who has been killing people for so long is none other than Jong. After that, Park is shown. Park takes his secretary to Jong's place, but Choi, who is in the body of the police officer, stops the car and turns it back. Because Choi knows very well that Park will take this girl to Jong's place to kill him, Park gets angry because the car was sent away like this. Because of this, Park leaves this girl. The serial killer Jong is starting to go viral in the news. Even Park sees this news, but Park is angry with the police officer Ji Hyung. Because when he went to Park, he completely confused the police officer. Then Hyung and his junior police officer appear. This person's name is Tanna Woo Ji-hun. Ji-hun asks, why did you delete the CCTV footage from Jong's house to the pen drive? Choi in Hyung's body is not going to be answered at this time. At this time, Choi, who is in Hyung's body, sees her mother coming to the police station. Choi then asks Woon Ji-hun what the reason is. At this time, Ji-hun says that this is the end of the story. Choi went into the body of a young man named Sang earlier. At that time, Choi gave Sang 5 million out of the 10 million won to his mother. But the work Choi's mother has done is not hers, so she gave the money to the police. Choi's mother has come to question her. At this time, Choi understands that she is helping. That the money she had thought to do has now become a problem for her mother. After that, Choi in Hyung's body goes to meet his mother, but Choi's mother does not know that this is Choi. At this time, Choi notices that her mother's shoelace is untied. After that, the Choi on Hyung's body is tied. After that, Choi's mother goes home, but Choi's mother has not eaten yet. After that, Choi leaves a note with a food to his mother and Choi watches from a distance. At this moment, a half-burned man comes and stabs the person named Hyung who owns Choi's body. That's because Park is angry with this police officer named Hyung. That's why Park has given an order to kill this person. Then show the Park. Park's phone receives a call from the person who took the order to kill Hyung. But at this time, Choi, who is in Hyung's body, is talking, and we understand that Hyung is not dead. Choi, who is in Hyung's body, says that the video where you killed Jong is in the manga, so come to the police and surrender. After that, Park is handed over to the police, but the police do not arrest Park because the police are under Park's control. At this time, Park tells Hyung that he can get you even a new promotion. Forget this question now. But Choi in Hyung's body says, they don't matter to me and you have to pay for it. Park is not afraid of this because Park has another plan. One reason is that Park surrenders to the police, but the people take Park's side. Because Park was killed by a terrible serial killer, he considers the Park people who killed such a person as heroes. This is Park's plan. This plan succeeds. Park gets bail. After that, Park tells some police officers who are loyal to him to keep Hyung locked up until I come. These police officers do the same. After that, Park gets on his flight. After that, he takes some intoxicating tablets and sleeps. But when Park wakes up, he sees that the situation has turned to the other side, because every crime that Park secretly committed starts to be shown in the media. Park sees that he is the only one on this flight, and Park realizes that a bomb has been set for this flight as well, landing from Park flight. But at this time, Choi in Hyung's body comes here. It is clear that all this is planned by Choi. Here is how Choi implemented this plan. That means that Choi is planning this plan by using those abilities and memories into the bodies of many people who have gone to Choi's soul before. At this time, Choi tries to kill Park by suffocating him. But at this time, death intervenes here. Choi can't kill anyone, but this time Choi leaves Park. Using this time, Park tries to kill Choi by stabbing him with the knife he has, but a strong wind is coming here. Because Park is carrying the parachute, one of the hooded ones is pulled back and hits a vehicle on the road. That's how the 6th episode of his Death's Game series ended. Episode 7 of Death's Game starts with Choi visiting the person who took the fall for Jisoo's accident in prison. Since the public knows Tae-yu's evil doings, the deal he had promised does not stand, and he now wants to confess that he took the fall for Tae-yu. However, Choi is not about to let him. He tells him he believes his claim because he witnessed it and has the dash camera's memory card to prove his innocence. However, Choi, the detective, is not here to help him escape jail. He destroys the memory card and tells him to spend the rest of his prison sentence thinking about and regretting his choices. Next, Choi visits Tae-yu in the hospital, who is in a vegetative state, and then goes back to living the life of Choi, and his partner solves several cases, gaining the respect of other police officers. One day, they get into a fight with some criminals and his partner is seriously injured. At the hospital, his wife and daughter visit him, and Choi takes the daughter out to have snacks to give the mother and father a chance to talk. The daughter opens up about her fears anytime her father goes to work. She worries that he will get seriously injured, and Choi promises always to protect him. In the next scene, Ji Hyung and his partner are running after a suspect, and he leads them to the top of a building. Seeing that he has no way out, the suspect takes a gun out of his bag and starts shooting at them. He shoots Choi-Yi's partner in the leg and Choi-Yi in the arm. Choi remembers his promise to his daughter and decides to save his partner by sacrificing himself. Choi meets with Death, who is furious because he killed himself. Choi is not sorry about killing himself since he believes he sacrificed his life to save his partner. Death suddenly asks Choi who he is, and before he can ask questions to understand the question, Death shoots him, and he goes to his next life. Choi wakes up as a homeless man and sees news about Ji Hyung's funeral. He is proud of his deeds until he realizes nobody recognizes his contribution. He might have helped Ji Hyung create memories that people cherish, but these achievements belong to Ji Hyung and not Choi. Outside, he sees Ji Hyung's partner crying and blaming himself for his death since he had earlier mentioned something about sacrificing himself for his partner. The detective furiously asks who the homeless man is, and Death's question hits home. Choi wonders who he is as his previous life flashes through his mind, and realizes he no longer knows who he is. Choi remembers Jisoo's words and is dejected that no matter how many times he reincarnates, he will never live a Skoi. He sees the memories of the homeless man approaching, and he pleads with Death to stop the pointless reincarnations. As he runs down the stairs, he trips and falls to his death. Choi meets Death, eager to be sent to the next life. Death realizes that Choi is not learning his lesson, so he plays another trick on him by turning back time and sending Choi into the life of the person who committed suicide and turning Choi's life upside down on the day of the interview. Death is watching Choi struggle while lying in a pool of blood behind Tae-yu, which makes Tae-yu get the idea that the man was asking for his help, looking at him like he was a god. Choi dies again, and this time, Death is eager to point out that she gave him a chance to reset his life, and he blew it. Choi still holds that Death is merely a means of ending his pain, and he is eager to end the next life regardless of the body that Death gives him. Death doubts Choi will end his next life as easily as he thinks, and true to her words, Choi wakes up as his mother. This is how the 8th episode of this series called Death Game ended. Episode 8 of Death's Game starts with Choi finding himself in his mother's body and thinking that death is too cruel. He gets his mother's memories and gets to experience the pain his mother went through after his suicide.I. In addition, Choi learns that his mother never gave up on life like him, no matter how hard life became. His mother sacrificed too much after his father's death, and life was not kind to her. Choi understands that the death that causes him the most pain is not his own but of a person he loves. Choi feels so ashamed of killing himself and decides to go on living as his mother. The next morning, he wakes up early, takes the morning train and goes to his mother's cleaning job. On the train, he sees many other people's parents doing their best to get by, and he feels that he cannot stand before them and say that he did his best. He finishes his mother's talks of the day and heads back home, struggling with knee pains, but he keeps pushing on. At home, he stumbles upon a house savings plan his mother had started for him when he was little and remembers her telling him that he can use it to buy a house when he gets older. Choi is overwhelmed with emotions and starts crying. The next day, he falls asleep on the train from work, wakes up at the station near his columbarium, and decides to visit. Memories of his mother visiting him every day after work flash through his mind, and Choi feels her pain 1,000-fold, witnessing her mother continuously blame herself for his death. Choi wished he could apologize to his mother and tell her he would want to be born as his son in the next life, but his feelings could not reach her. He decides to give back to his mother by taking her on a trip to Mt. Obong, a favorite vacation spot for his parents. Choi pushes himself to the top of the mountain regardless of the pain and lets his mother bask in the beautiful view of the sundown. He stands beside his mother and apologizes for not keeping his promise, and they hold hands. Choi starts going down the mountain late at night, and the darkness makes it hard for him to find his way, making his trip and rolling down a cliff. He almost gives up and lies down there waiting for death, but remembering it is his mother's body, he does not allow himself to die like that. He crawls back up to the trail, and the next time he wakes up, he is at the hospital. Choi is so relieved and happy that his mother is still alive. Suddenly, he remembers his mother crying over his dead body in the morgue, begging that he wake up so they can go home. Choi realizes that he made a grave mistake when he committed suicide. In addition, he realizes that he constantly lived his life in fear that he was not good enough, afraid he would fall behind his peers and afraid of rejection. He ended his life before it could blossom because of the constant fear. Furthermore, Choi realizes that life is an opportunity and that the pain he thought engulfed his life is only a small part. Life is made up of different days. Sometimes, it could be rainy, windy, and other times sunny, but all these days make life worth living. To fulfill his mother's wish for him to live his next life until the end, Choi chooses to live as his mother for 32 years, which is longer than the time spent living as Choi. After he dies, Ye-jae meets up with death again. This time, he says he misses her so much. Ye-jae spent all the time apart from death thinking about what to tell her when they meet again. He gets on his knees, begging death to give him a chance to live as himself just once. He wants to have just one chance to hug his mother. Death tells him that he has finished his punishment, and all that remains is God's judgment. However, before judgment, she gives him one last bullet. Choi fires the gun, shooting himself in the head, and the next scene is back at the rooftop. Choi's mother calls, and he picks up the call this time. This is how this best series ended.